Can you kill the lights?
All right, you're joining us with another episode of Kill the Lights, the podcast that deals with everything dark, horror, and stuff on the fringe. This is Joey D, and with me is my co-host Carl De Mesa.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about the latest film from
Blumhouse Pictures.
What is it?
Blumhouse Pictures. It's one of those famous horror studio things, but distributed by...
Not that famous.
Yeah.
But distributed by Sony Columbia Pictures, Philippines. First of all, big shout out to Jay and the rest of the Sony Columbia Pictures team.
We appreciate you guys.
We appreciate the fact that you guys invite us to all these like horror movies, or well, not really horror movies, not just horror movies, but thrillers. And so far, we've had a good record with them. Actually,
we have
from Brightburn. I didn't like that like totally, but it wasn't bad.
You know, it was one of those like taking a chance movies.
Chance movies. Well, the only way to evolve is to take chances, right?
I guess.
So that wasn't terrible.
No.
We checked out, what was the crocodile movie?
Crawl. That was a solid meat and potatoes.
That was a pretty good movie that we reviewed.
Creature feature.
So far, good record with stuff that they've been putting out. And now it's The Invisible Man. This is based on the original, loosely based on the H.G. Wells novel. There have been remakes of this. Kevin Bacon was part of one of the remakes.
Yeah, that was a horrible one.
That was horrible, but that version was sort of like loyal to the original, right?
It was very much, but it wasn't I think cleanly updated. Like Kevin Bacon is just trying so hard to act evil.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Bacon's better off doing other things. He's good at other things, but like speaking of horror, I just really got to interject this. The whole Tremors series, that was really good.
Tremor was awesome. I wanted to see. Like, I think they're doing a remake.
They're doing a remake,
Tremors,
and I read somewhere they even did like a TV series of it with Kevin Bacon.
With Kevin
himself.
Bacon, yeah.
But The Invisible Man, recently shown. We got the chance to see an advanced screening over at the Sony Columbia headquarters in Ortigas. But directed by Leigh Whannell, and it stars Elisabeth Moss as the main character. Oliver Jackson who stars as Griffin, who is her abusive boyfriend, aka the Invisible Man. And a few other characters. Michael Dorman as the brother, the brother of
the Invisible Man.
And Aldous Hodge, Elisabeth Moss's friend who happens to be a cop, and
his daughter.
She lives with him and his daughter, who is actually actress Storm Reid. Yeah, so starts off really slow.
It starts off like normal, like there's a domestic incident, right?
Yeah,
Elisabeth Moss, Cecilia.
Easily, you could tell the difference of how they treated this movie, because it wasn't really made to be like a
sci-fi thing, right?
Sci-fi thing. It almost had like a supernatural vibe to it, because it starts off Elisabeth Moss's character. What's her name? What is
Cecilia?
Cecilia.
She's trying to escape from the
house.
The house, because her boyfriend is really abusive, and she's been wanting to like escape his clutches since he's been beating her. I think we see the beginnings of the Invisible Man thing when she goes into the basement of the house and sees like what must be a room,
a laboratory
to make a
scientist laboratory, to be more exact. So she escapes that, and then she tries to find normalcy again by living in with her friend, who happens to be a cop, with their daughter. And early on in the film, they show her struggles of trying to get back to again normalcy, living a normal life. Like she'd get freaked out by someone jogging in the street
because she thinks that the boyfriend is after her, because he said, I think in no uncertain terms, that I will find you wherever you are. I will find you.
Yeah.
Don't ever leave me.
And the movie early on takes a twist, because apparently the boyfriend takes his own life, commits suicide.
Apparently some kind of
depression.
Depressive Tony Stark kind of entrepreneurial tech guy.
Yeah, and the character, the brother, is introduced, and
as the lawyer, right?
Yeah, as a lawyer who's trying to, just get business over with. Apparently, a big sum of money was left in her name, in Cecilia's
Execute
name.
the will of the Invisible Man brother.
Yeah, and then after that, she gets a sum of money every month, and she tries to repay the acts of kindness shown to her by her friend and his daughter by putting her friend's daughter through college, or starting a fund at least.
Starting a fund
for. And so everything looks like everything's gonna turn out okay and whatnot until funny stuff starts happening. She's convinced. First of all, it's a gut feeling that there's a presence with her in the room, and then it gets even more chilling when she sees what was the best example? She could tell there was an entity sitting in the chair with her in the room.
Like there's somebody sitting on that chair.
Something pulling the covers from her, and basically it got worse and worse. There was a scene where she was hanging out with her friend's daughter, and an invisible entity smacks the hell out of her that daughter.
Of course, the kid thinks it was her.
Basically, what happens is everything gets blamed on her. The best kind of revenge. It wasn't a straightforward revenge. It's letting people think that she was going crazy and that basically she was an asshole. So the ultimate revenge, like well thought, well planned, well thought of, and again, the idea wasn't really to kill her, but to make her miserable.
Yeah, to torture her because the boyfriend was abusive, and she took her some time to process her feelings and her fears that she was being followed. And everybody was saying it's just your mind reeling from all that abuse.
Exactly. So basically, people thought she was crazy. And hence the tension in the film because, after that really boring... I remember at the start of the film, I told Carl, dude, if I fall asleep, please wake me up. I don't want to snore in front of all these people.
Because it was a really small viewing room.
Yeah, a really small, comfortable viewing room, mind you.
So
I was worried early on. I was like, if they take so much time establishing the characters, which they sort of did, I'm not fully, but it did take some time, wherein the audience members are left guessing or trying to figure out the backstory. I did fall asleep.
I think it was a good 10 minutes.
A good 10 minutes. And not that I'm not making fun of the film because it made me fall asleep, but I just think that it took way too long.
Yeah, I think you need to clarify that it's not really the film. Sometimes it's just the environment where...
Sometimes, but here I think it took a little too long for a no payout thing. Because there was up until the end of the film, there was no payout. There wasn't a scene where how they got together.
There's no trajectory about
why she stayed that long with him. So again, for no payout, I'm sort of saying that it did take a while to establish all that stuff. But as soon as things get going, as soon as there is solid evidence that there is an invisible entity trying to make her life miserable, things pick up and the pace improves, which I will say was pretty good.
It's pretty good. We were quietly surprised
because I was expecting to fall asleep again and ask you again to wake me up. But honestly, when the ball got rolling, the pace got a lot more comfortable. And what I did enjoy about the film was the reveal. Yeah. Because, it's not
there
a
were
spoiler alert.
Two twists or so.
There were a few twists, but halfway into the film, I was truly convinced that the methods used by the boyfriend weren't really loyal to the sci-fi edge things. Yeah. I was really convinced it was some sort of supernatural whatever.
It seemed like a demon, right?
He performed or whatnot.
She was cursed.
So kudos to the film for that. Because
it's like a feint, right? Red herrings.
It makes anything that makes you think twice. Yeah. The worst thing about horror movies is when you think you got it all figured out and you're right. So kudos to that film. Yeah. That they did sort of make you work for your supper a bit. The most, I guess, the reveal came on we were positive it was still sort of in the sci-fi thriller kind of leagues. That episode in the police station where there was a reveal of the suit and there was a reveal that
they damaged the suit enough so that, hey, that's a guy.
There was a vulnerable point in the suit and whatnot. Apparently a suit made up of a lot of tiny little cameras.
Yeah. It's like nanotech but with cameras.
Yeah, and you know what? The only thing that sucked about that, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of, remember this really horrible remake of G.I. Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Because that was the same exact
That was the
suit
same
that
exact suit.
Scarlet and Duke were using to make themselves invisible.
There's camouflage suits.
So that was sort of lame.
Yeah, they couldn't think of anything else.
Or maybe a different look for the suit.
A different look for the suit would have been like
that was
more
the same thing. Small cameras, like taking pictures of your environment,
your front and back, and
cloaking and whatever. Cloaking. So that was the only sucky part, I guess. The major suckage of the film. I was like, it's like I'm watching G.I. Joe.
But you were really into it by the middle, right?
I liked it because one, even during this day and age of PC culture, they weren't afraid to kick an ass of a lady, of a girl.
Yeah.
Because that dude really kicked her ass.
It was pretty violent. I was like, that's domestic abuse right there.
Like, it was really violent. Of course, she did come out the victor. But again, there were times where it got really freaky, like the abuse that was happening. And, she was being thrown around the room. Credits to that actress, though.
Elisabeth Moss is good,
Credits to her. Like, she really could act. It seems like the part was perfect for her. And I love the fact that it wasn't her friend who came to the total rescue. The cop, even the cop was weak. Dude, you're dealing with an invisible man.
Yeah, he couldn't really.
Your chances are pretty low.
Yeah, he couldn't even see him. So
exactly.
What are you going to hit?
That's the part I loved, and also the twist at the end.
I
mean, I really applaud that twist. The fact that Elisabeth Moss, she managed to prove that she wasn't crazy, and she managed to prove to herself and everyone close to her that there really was this was really an attack on her. But the thing was, even after all that, she didn't end up being a victim.
She was able to liberate herself.
She liberated
her own
herself.
Powers.
She became the invisible, well, not man, but woman, and she fucking hands it to him.
Trivia, bro. Apparently, there's going to be
a sequel.
An Invisible Woman sequel directed and starred in by Elisabeth Moss.
Oh, but directed by her. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. That I guess that's the good takeaway here. I mean, we hope we didn't spoil it for anyone, but it's pretty entertaining. Like,
there's a lot of layers to be like just talked about. The domestic abuse first of all, and then is this plausible tech? It seems like it's plausible tech. Yeah. Like the first and second acts were her trying to press on, proving, hey, I'm not crazy.
Yep.
Somebody's really hunting me, and then the third act just became, at the end, her trying to get her revenge because she couldn't believe that this was something that her ex-boyfriend could really pull off. Because you remember, Joey, the second twist was, hey, it's not the boyfriend, it's somebody else.
Okay.
It's somebody else. And then at the end, well, I still don't want to be with you, meaning the boyfriend, and I will liberate myself through the only way I know how. So, let's not spoil that.
Yeah, well, let's just say that she didn't forgive him.
Yeah. No forgiveness for the domestically abused. I really liked it in a way that it kept us guessing.
Yeah.
Like, I did not see that coming. That first
But you know what? A little more of that thing keeping us guessing, it would have irritated the hell out of me.
Actually.
So they actually just tight-roped on tasteful and almost pissing
you off. Yeah. Like,
but
what
thank
else
God
is there
they
to
didn't
reveal?
cross that line. Thank God they didn't. Good news.
There were some things that we did get irritated with. Like, I think there was some continuity thing. For me, it was a dog.
Yeah.
Because the first of all, they had a dog, and then it got left in the house where the boyfriend supposedly had died.
Yeah.
Then she came back to the house,
and the
dog's still alive.
Yeah, the dog.
Like, who's been feeding the dog, man?
Yeah. Also, what also sort of bugged me was I don't know. I felt that there could have been done a lot more done with the character of the brother. But at the end of the day, he was just basically cleaning up after his.
He seemed like an empty patsy. Like, I remember we were discussing that. Like, does he have no character other than to be a paper?
Yeah, he's just
villain.
He's just like the guy who did his brother's will. But you see, there are so many possibilities there. Like, he could have been using the suit, which could have been awesome.
Yeah,
or he secretly liked his brother's
like he became his brother's actual evil.
Yeah, exactly.
Side.
But again, disappointing. Nothing. I mean, nothing happened. Even the main character's sister, who got her throat slit.
That was awesome though. And,
it was awesome
not
because
expect that.
it was a kill.
It was a kill. Like finally a kill count.
Yeah, but the only thing is, her character was pretty empty too.
That's it. I guess stronger writing for the supporting cast, right? There's something in there that I think would be greatly improved by the world building and the environment.
Yeah.
Like, tell us the nature of the suit. Tell us the nature of that relationship. Like, 5 minutes spent on that would have been wasted, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So what's your score, by the way?
I originally wanted to give it a 7, but now that we're talking about those certain points, maybe a 6, 6.5. But definitely, you know
0.5, huh?
Yeah, really not. I mean, a lot of people who know me, I'm not like generous with scores or whatever. But you know what? If you make it past the halfway mark,
and you're still paying attention,
it still makes sense. It still makes sense enough for you to check it out. And again, like when the pace finally picks up, it gets really interesting. Not necessarily great, but it's enough to keep you glued. So it's one of those flicks, those flicks when, you end up having lunch by yourself at home and you don't want to just keep chewing and look at your food. You want to watch something.
Right.
That's probably a movie I'll
like
pop in.
It requires some attention.
Yeah, but
to understand,
but not enough that you don't want to eat. And you know what? It's one of those films I had no problem going to the bathroom too. Like,
then you came back and you were still in it.
You were still you're still into it, but it's not like one of the. It's just not so great that you'll hold your pee in. I'm sort of there at that because I used to hate like having to stand up and go to the bathroom in the middle of. Like I remember we checked out It Chapter 2.
Yeah.
I really did not want to stand.
Yeah.
Stand up and go to the bathroom. I
can understand that.
I was really interested in that. And, but yeah, it's the take, as far as it being a take on an old movie, I still have to give it credit. It's a fresh take.
Yes, it was.
I will say
agree.
that it's a fresh take. And you know what? Great job by the actors. And even the characters that didn't have much depth, at least the acting was still good.
Like, at least they were a legit paper people.
Yeah, exactly. Even the daughter of her friend did a really good acting job. So yeah, 6.5. That's one. How about you? What's your score?
I'm same 6. Mostly I really liked Elisabeth Moss because she acts well. I really liked also the setup of the domestic abuse. Like, it's really not about the Invisible Man, right?
Yeah.
It's about the Invisible Man's battered girlfriend and her escape from his clutches. The things that I could not let go of were just too much, I think. Like, it shaved a lot of points off that 10. First of all, the continuity with the dog. And then, second of all of a sudden, she becomes a villain at the end. It seems like that could have been established more. And there were a lot of signs, I think, leading up to it. But I really didn't buy it that there was something that did make me want to I think I want to stand up and pee.
Yeah. Or perfect time to get to refresh that bucket of
popcorn, or like those chips that we were having. And and then it seemed like a normal Blumhouse picture to me, like normal run-of-the-mill garden variety, except that, this was based off of an H.G. Wells
off a classic
novel. And then,
to be honest,
things that
even the classic, interesting, but not compelling.
No, it was better as a book, man.
Yeah.
Really. Like, the novel has not been really given justice, I think, because there's a lot of philosophical and scientific stuff in it that was just discussed. The fear that somebody can be corrupted by being invisible, I don't get it. Like, it's been done in The Hobbit. I mean, in the whole Lord of the Rings thing, it's I just not too afraid to be invisible.
If I was suddenly invisible, the first thing I do is probably a bad thing. Right.
There you go.
Right. There's no need to study it. I mean, it's human nature.
I will definitely get away with that shit.
Yeah. So
but we did enjoy it.
Yeah, it was again so far the pictures that we've been seeing from Sony Columbia, no losers actually.
Yeah,
no losers.
Their meat and potatoes good. I would watch them.
Yeah, the only real losers of a film that we did review was what was that one?
We did. Oh, you weren't there, but we did do The Grudge, and that was awful.
Oh yeah, thank God.
Thank God you weren't there.
Yeah.
You would have been sleeping through it, man.
So yeah, anyway, if you have any suggestions of films, horror or thriller films that you guys want us to check out and review, please feel free. Just go to our Facebook page, Kill the Lights Podcast PH. And thank you for tuning in. And hopefully we have a bunch of movies lined up already. So hopefully we'll have more material for you guys. Anyway, this has been Joey D and with me, Carl De Mesa from Kill the Lights Podcast. Have a good one. See you next time.
This has been the Kill the Lights podcast. It's produced and recorded at Big Baby Studios. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.